Hi, Cassandre Xavier again. I forgot to mention in my most recent post showing you that I was boiling sweet potatoes and yams. I mentioned that you boil them plain in just water, no onions, no salt, nothing, because when they're done you want to be able to use them as sweet or savory. And I mentioned how they can be served in the savory fashion, but I didn't go into detail, and I also forgot to mention the sweet stuff. So here we go. I would like to share with you my favorite savory and sweet seasonings. Alright, so savory. This is my staple of what I sweeten my savory food with. Light salt, which is half potassium and half, regular salt. This is Morton, and it's yummy. Onion, and it doesn't, yeah, and and I can say that it might taste funny at first. I find this to not be as chemically tasting as some of the other salt substitutes, and it works for me, but it did take a little bit of adjustment at first, and your tongue can get used to anything, so just give it a couple tries and you'll be good. Then you won't even like the real salt. You won't like the other kind of salt, but this is half real salt and half potassium, which is great. I love onion powder. Onion powder is absolutely delicious. It adds so much to whatever you're cooking, and I really like it in beans. It just, for some reason, just adds a lot to any dish. I'm a big fan of the cayenne peppers. It's a blood purifier. It's just crazy good for you, and I like my food hot. I like it spicy. Apple cider vinegar is a staple for anybody with high blood pressure. And it is also a lovely salt substitute, and adds a sweetness and a fullness to whatever you're trying to season. If it's savory, you put a sprinkles of that. My late partner Tom introduced me to putting vinegar on greens. Apparently that's a major way of serving greens, and I didn't know that. And he used white vinegar. I prefer apple cider vinegar, and it's a part of my daily staples. I just drink it in my water a lot of the time, and not always though. You just really need plain water too. So even if you do lemon water or vinegar water, whatever, you always need plain water, but apple cider vinegar. So most of my food on my plate is going to have all of this stuff on it. Not always apple cider vinegar for everything, but most of the time. So this is my staple for that. And then for your sweets, when I have the sweet potatoes and I want to have them sweet, what I do is I will pour in a little bit of this 8th Continent vanilla, any kind of vanilla soy milk or whatever milk substitute you prefer. Vanilla, this thing is so creamy that I always dilute it, but if you're using it for the purpose of adding creaminess, then you don't need to dilute it. But if I'm just having cereal or something, like seriously, I can't have this straight up. It's like a milkshake. So it's really kind of goes a long way. So I would take my bowl, I'd have a bowl, and then I would put that stuff in there. Then I'd mash it up, and then I'd pour in a little of this. Then I'd put in a teaspoon or so of vanilla flavoring. Now this is the real stuff, vanilla extract. I save it for cakes or cookies or whatever, or anything else that you want to do. And I just use the vanilla flavoring, like imitation vanilla flavoring. It's just fine for daily whatever. And this CVS was having a crazy sale on these, so I got 2 of these, and I haven't even needed it yet. So I will put a teaspoon of vanilla flavor. Then I will put a tablespoon or so, a little bit less maybe, of organic molasses, and check out the potassium content here. You probably can't see it, but 1 tablespoon of this has 730 milligrams of potassium. You're already getting a lot of potassium in here. 730 milligrams here per tablespoon. And then this, 8 ounces of this is 460 milligrams of potassium. So, we're really rocking and rolling here. And then your agave nectar. I haven't needed that. Did I do agave nectar for my sweet potatoes? I don't think I've needed it, because this has so much gosh darn sugar in it. You know what I mean? And this is gummy girl talking, gummy bear girl talking. So I definitely, likes my stuff sweet. And I don't usually need this. It's just the sweet potatoes and yams And this stuff, and the vanilla adds a lot of sweetness as well, as far as your mind thinks you're tasting something sweet, even if it's not actually sweet on the tongue because of the fragrance of the vanilla. And this is sweet. And you don't want to put too much of this because it has an irony taste, because it has a metallic taste to it because it's rich in iron as well. This is so good. It has vitamin B12, calcium, and iron in addition to potassium. So this is really good. So now I want to share with you one of my latest desserts that I've been enjoying lately, in moderation, surprisingly, which is fat-free, plain, non-fat yogurt. I've just been attracted to that lately. And whenever you're attracted to something, there are reasons for it. And so my body has been needing this. And it's high in potassium. It's got a lot of live active cultures, which is great if you're dating or active or sexually active. It's got a lot of calcium in it, which is good if you have high blood pressure. Calcium, magnesium, manganese, potassium are very important for people who are hypertensive. So this just has a bunch of good stuff in there. Granted, it's dairy. I'm not into making foods bad or evil. Whatever you're attracted to, there's a reason you're attracted to it. And so I just have like a cup, like maybe a cup of that with a tablespoon of that, molasses, vanilla flavorings, and a little bit of that, about a teaspoon of agave nectar. And then it tastes like vanilla ice cream. It tastes really, not vanilla ice cream, vanilla yogurt. But you know what? With way less sugar. Because why fill your tummy with sugar with all these live active cultures? You're kind of defeating the purpose. Or the porpoise, as I like to say. So hey, you know what? Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the yamage and the sweet potatoes if you can. They're really very comforting, nutritious, wholesome, perfect winter foods for anybody dealing with hypertension, pre-diabetic or diabetic symptoms, and of course bipolar depression. As I am gifted to have all three. Yeah. So sharing the journey. Take care. Ciao.